The Warriors just beat the Kings 126-125 in game 4, and now the series is tied 2-2, which is good news for the Warriors, but frankly, they should have lost. Kings should have won this game. The Warriors did everything they could to give the game away, but the Kings blew it because down the stretch, Harrison Barnes took 2 threes in the final 35 seconds, and he's terrible. If he had just passed the ball to De'Aaron Fox, Warriors probably lose. Steph Curry called a timeout the Warriors didn't even have. I mean, they were bad down the stretch, and their bench is terrible. That's why they should have lost, but they won. And the series is tied, and they can win this series. But right now, I'm looking at a Warriors team that has a 6-man rotation. They have Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney. That's their team. Everyone on the bench was unplayable in this game. I mean, just look at the plus minus of the guys on the bench. Gary Payton, minus 11 in 7 minutes. Jonathan Kuminga, minus 8 in 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Moses Moody, minus 5 in 5 minutes. Dante DiVincenzo, minus 11 in 16 minutes. There is no bench on this team. And if you wonder why they were playing bad down the stretch and couldn't put the Kings away, almost let the Kings come back and win, is because they must be gassed. They're playing way too much. Steph Curry played almost 43 minutes. Klay Thompson, 39. Draymond Green, 30 off the bench. Andrew Wiggins, 37. The guy was just on a 2-month leave of absence. And they're having to do this in the first round of the playoffs. This is not a sustainable way. They're not going to win. They're not going to win the finals playing like this. And I'm not even sure they're going to beat the Kings. So, yeah, the starters are great, but they're going to have to find a couple extra guys who can contribute. And what's interesting is Draymond Green missed last game, comes off the bench, plays great defense. He takes De'Aaron Fox in the second half, really shuts him down in the third quarter, finishes the game with 10 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, 7 assists, great defense. He took 14 shots, made 3 of them. Wiggins took 12 shots. That can't happen. That is no recipe for a win. Draymond Green taking more shots than Andrew Wiggins. I've never seen, I love Draymond Green, Hall of Famer, had a good game today, but I've never seen someone who can miss layups like him. I mean, he's right there, point blank. How many layups did he miss in this game? So he needs to be a little less aggressive. Maybe he was a little pumped up because he came off the bench and missed last game, but 14 shots, 3 makes, can't happen. You're not going to win games like that. Also, Wiggins has to be more assertive. He's a really good player, and he's the Warriors' maybe best driver other than Jordan Poole. There's no one protecting the rim for the Kings. Wiggins needs to be more aggressive. 12 shots in 37 minutes. He made 7 of them. He's 1 for 2 from 3, 7 to 12 from the field, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks. I mean, he's a hell of a player. Be more aggressive. Don't let Draymond Green take more shots than you. So those are a couple reasons why this game was way too close. And, you know, a win's a win, of course, but you got a 6-man rotation. Can we talk about Jordan Poole for a second? Like, his offense was great. He finished the game with 22 points, but his defense is horrendous. And down the stretch, the Warriors had the ball up 5 with the ball, less than 3 minutes left. He gets the ball and turns the ball over in transition, trying to throw the ball like 50 feet across the court. What are you doing, man? Just give the ball to Stephen Curry and get out of his damn way. How do you trust Jordan Poole down the stretch? It was interesting. They were trying to close with Poole on the court and Draymond Green on the bench because, again, Draymond was taking too many shots, missing layups, but they can't win that way. So they had to get him off the court, bring Draymond back on, and frankly, nothing the Warriors did won them the game. It was Harrison Barnes being Harrison Barnes down the stretch. This is what won the game. Steph Curry calling a timeout he didn't have. It just seems like he was gassed. Almost 43 minutes. Now they called that. They challenged the play. They lost. That's why they lost their timeout. Maybe that's why Steph Curry was confused. But I'm looking at a team with a 6-man rotation that's having to play their 35-year-old Hall of Fame great player too much. But he was still great. 43 minutes. He had 32 points, 5 of 11 from 3. All-time great performance. He was great. Klay Thompson was great. Wiggins needs to be more aggressive, and Draymond needs to shoot less or finish the freaking layups. I don't know what to tell him. How do you miss at the rim that much? Other than that, hell of a player. And I do want to say with Steph, I feel like he doesn't get enough discussion. Warriors win, Warriors lose. You're always talking about their bench or the X factors or Wiggins. It's all Steph. It's all about Steph. He's a team. He's a team. And he was great again tonight. I still consider him the greatest offensive player of all time. He has 4 championships as the best player on his team. Kobe doesn't have that. Shaq doesn't have that. Only players who can say that in the history of the sport: Curry, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell. One of 6. And this guy is the best offensive player. They put in the three-point line, the NBA, in the 70s. It took until Stephen Curry shooting, 10 to 15 threes a game for the whole league to realize, oh, okay, that's the best way to play basketball. He literally changed the sport. No other player in the history of basketball changed the sport as much as Steph. So I think he's the best offensive player ever. And I think he is, they're going to have to play him damn near 43 minutes a game to get out of the first round. And again, it's not his fault. This roster is ridiculous. What Joe Lacob did, dismantling this bench for a bunch of young guys who didn't pan out, and now you got no bench. Your bench is Jordan Poole or Draymond Green, whoever's not in the game at that time. But, Kuminga is unplayable. Gary Payton isn't really doing much right now. Dante DiVincenzo, unplayable in this game. So that's not Steve Kerr's fault. Steve Kerr's in a tough situation. Anytime he takes out Stephen Curry, the Kings go on a run, and it's like, oh, what were you thinking, Curry? You just killed the Warriors' momentum. Well, when is the right time to take out Steph Curry? Obviously, you don't want him on the bench to close out quarters. That's bad. He needs to be on the court to close out all 4 quarters, but he needs to sit at some point. He sat for not even 6 minutes in this game, 35 years old. Yikes. But he did it. You got to do what you got to do. It just seems like if this is how the Warriors have to play with a 6-man rotation and Steph playing 43 minutes a game, are they going to win the championship? Are they even going to win this series? I don't know. I guess I got to win game 5, getting a little ahead of myself. Warriors won by 1, but let's be honest, man, they got lucky. Harrison Barnes. That's exactly why the Warriors got rid of Harrison Barnes. You can count on him to miss a big wide open shot down the stretch. So, Kings fans, sorry, that's the Harrison Barnes experience. Andrew Wiggins, far superior player. Andrew, never, ever, 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 ever let Draymond Green take more shots than you again. Can't happen. Draymond, Andrew figured out. That's a big one the Warriors can adjust right there. Jordan Poole, stop trying to throw the ball across the court with less than in the 4th quarter. Give the ball to Steph and get out of the way. And Joe Lacob, get this team a bench next year. This team is essentially is a bench away from winning another championship. If they don't win it all this year, you're going to blame the bench. Not Kerr, not Curry, not Draymond, not Wiggins, not any of these guys, the bench. And that's Lacob's fault. So I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe Anthony Lamb, try him. Maybe Moses Moody. He played 5 minutes in this game. A little more Moody. A little more Lamb. What are you going to do? I don't know. Tough one. Because the Kings have a legit bench. I'm looking at their bench. Davion Mitchell's a hell of a player. Malik Monk's a hell of a player. Malik Monk was plus 12. Alex Len was plus 11. Trey Lyles was plus 6. Davion Mitchell was minus 15, but he had to go up against Steph all night. I don't know, man. I feel like the longer this series goes, it favors the Kings, right? If this goes 7, you got to play in Sacramento, and Steph's been playing 43 minutes a night, and the Warriors only go 6 deep. What's going to happen? Also, you got to give Keegan Murray credit. I didn't really talk much about the Kings in this breakdown. De'Aaron Fox was great, 31 shots, very aggressive, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, hell of a player. But Keegan Murray, 9 of 13, 5 of 7 from 3. I was looking at him being like, this guy is so overrated, but now I see it. He's like a young Klay Thompson. I don't know if he can play, if he could defend like young Klay, but he can offensively. What a player. When was the last time the Warriors drafted someone like that? Kuminga? Wouldn't it be nice if the Warriors had Keegan Murray? Like, Kuminga can't play at all. He was drafted high. Wiseman? If only the Warriors had gotten a young guy who could contribute like that, they would be rolling. But no, they got lucky. Squeaked away with the win. Be interesting to see what they say about this one. But I don't know. Draymond Green is such a conundrum, right? Plays great defense. He's plus 8 on the game off the bench. Plus 8, right? He's a winning player. 3 of 14? Draymond, please, don't do that anymore. Just don't.